What's good, team? Right now, I'm bringing guys another top 10 video today, and today's top 10 video is going to be the top 10 reasons a lot of you guys do not top Yu-Gi-Oh events, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many times you guys go to this event. So, without further ado, let's begin. Straight into the video, starting with number 10, self-doubt. I've met a lot of players throughout the years, no matter what card game I played, have a fuck ton of self-doubt in themselves, and I never understood why. I mean, we're playing this card game to mainly have fun. Big events should be secondary, but for some reason, they go to locals, they get smacked up, their friends fuck with them, and it just puts their self-esteem down. They think they're garbage, and honestly, I've met a lot of players who are good, who don't give themselves enough credit. So my number 10 reason why people don't top events is self-doubt, because self-doubt, just like in real life, can really bite you in the ass. Number 9, negative people in their life. Now, a lot of people are really good at this game, but they have negative people in their life giving them stress, like at home, at school, at work. So with all that negativity rolling into trying to go to a Yu-Gi-Oh event, that's going to cause more negativity, because if you get mad and if you lose, you're going to take the loss 10 times harder than you would have if you didn't have as much negativity in your life. So negativity could just bring you down and dwell on you. And my advice to people who have a lot of negativity in life, just take a break from people, be by yourself. I'm doing that currently now. I got a lot of negativity in my past life, and now I'm more of a lone wolf, and guess what? Negativity's gone. So number 9 reason, cut the negativity out of your life, and you guys will see your success ratio go up. Number 8, Scrubby playtesting group. Now, I'm not saying that you can get better from playtesting with people who are with less skill than you, but there comes a time and a point where you got to realize, if your group ain't focused on getting better and you're hanging with them consistently, you yourself is not going to get better. And it just goes to show the pros from the scrubs. A lot of players like Patrick Hoban, Billy Brake, they always kept themselves around people who are just as good as they are, and distance themselves around from people who aren't as great. I mean, yeah, they probably have friends with people who aren't as good. When it came down to serious playtesting, they playtested with some of the best of the best. And that's why you see a lot of same players doing it, getting good results at these big events. So, I mean, I did it when I was playing Naruto. I mean, my group, we used to playtest all the time. We were all around each other's level. Some of us better than the others, but for the most part, we all had about the same skill gap. It's just some of us weren't as good, which is why a lot of us didn't do as well as we should have, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, number 8, Scrubby playtesting group. There's nothing wrong with having your friends who aren't as great, but when it comes down to serious playtesting, find a better group. Number 7, not playtesting enough. Now, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players out there do not playtest this game enough, and I understand. I mean, we all have lives and we all want to make things great, but if you want to be good at this game, if you want to win an event, you have to play test. When I got my first YCS top in YCS Chicago 2014, I play tested my ass off. Went to locals after locals after locals. I played on DN, asked around for help. I got everything I needed to do to prep myself for that event. Hell, and I was losing weight at the same time. I was actually going on a diet around that time. So with all that positivity and playtesting, I wound up making top 32. Now granted, a lot of people don't do that, but hey, it worked for me, and I'm pretty sure it worked for you guys. So by playtesting, like I always tell you guys, at least 20 to 30 hours a week before an event to get good with a deck, it's optimal to get better results. So number 7, not playtesting enough. I mean, 2 to 3 hours a day up at most of playtesting, or at least thinking about your deck, can go so far. Number 6, huge fucking ego. Now, there are a lot of you people out there who think you're better than what you are. Yes, I said it, and I see it all the time at locals, and honestly, it annoys the hell out of me when people have huge egos and they aren't even that great. You've never really seen them top regionals like that. They might top it here and there, or they might win a locals here and there, but when it comes to YCSs, what do? They scrub out, they get mad, they look down upon people who can't afford cards that they can afford, and honestly, that's the reason why they suck. I mean, not that they suck, but that's the reason why they don't do as well. So calm the egos down, guys. Yu-Gi-Oh is supposed to be a game for fun, a game for passion, and you shouldn't think you're better than the next man because you can afford a better deck than them. Because I've personally beaten players with Rogue who spent a couple $100 on their deck, and they got extremely pissed, and you can tell they hate losing to me because they think I'm not a great player. So number 6, reason a lot of people don't win at top of these events, because they have huge ass egos and when they play against somebody who's on their level or better, they freeze up and they usually wind up scrubbing out. Number 5. Now this is the one I've happened to me a lot. Incomplete deck list. Now a lot of us, when we're going to big events, we have an idea of what kind of deck we want to take to that event. Like me, for example, my hero deck I'm taking to YCS Minneapolis, I already know how I want the deck to be built, and I'm like 99% done with the deck. I would love to have Pot of Desires for the deck to make the deck be the best version I can, but I'm not dropping the 150 for the deck, for the Pot of Desires. But I feel like Pot of Desires is not a necessity in Heroes, because Heroes is already pretty consistent. But let's say, for example, I played a deck that wasn't as consistent like Yang Zing. You need them Pot of Desires, and if you don't have the Pot of Desires, you're not going to do as well as someone who has the Pot of Desires. So a lot of players go to these big events and they lose because, let's face the fact, no one wants to spend a fuck ton of money on this game. And honestly, if you don't win because of it, then that's just the luck of the game. That's just the game, way the game is played. It's 50% pay to win and 50% skill and 20% whatever. So if you guys are going to an event, play a deck you guys know can have complete, and play a deck you guys know how to play. So that way you will be going to the event with your head held up high and you're like, okay, I have all the cards I need to do great. Number 4, constantly changing your decks. Now a lot of players change their decks like they change their fucking underwear, and it's really ridiculous, because it's like I've seen people within a span of a month go from deck to deck to deck to deck and to deck. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but this ain't 2004 and 5. We don't have to do that anymore. We have things like Yugioh Pro. We had DN until they got shut down, but we have Yugioh Pro. And with online programs like that are free, you can play test deck any deck you want. But I feel like if it comes to a big event, you shouldn't be changing your deck a week before the event. You done play tested this fucking deck all the way up to a week, and then you stop it because you want to play something meta. Fuck that. If you have a deck and you know you're good with it, play it at that event, and I guarantee you're going to be more satisfied and you can come out a better player and have more victories than you would have than if you would have played some meta deck. Unless you can just get really good and you're really gifted with that meta deck and then go for broke. But most of the time I see people just change their deck and scrub out and they get pissed because of it, and they always say, I should have just played the deck I played for the get-go. Number 3, a lot of players don't think for themselves. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh sheep mentality. And honestly, this goes back to just self-doubt. A lot of players, they see the players like Patrick Hoban, Billy Bragg, they top of the decks, they copy their deck list to a T, take to an event, think they're going to do well. Now, while some people do that well because they do practice with it, etc., everyone can't do that. And a lot of players have good ideas, but they don't implement them into decks. And then when they see someone else with the same ideas top with that idea, they get pissed. They're like, fuck, I should have had that. I should have just used my idea because I knew the card was good, but I wanted a net deck and it kind of fucked me over in the long run. So I recommend everyone, please think for yourselves. Please put in your own thought. Please sit down with your deck for at least an hour or at least 30 minutes a day and think what you want to do with the deck. How can you innovate it? How can you make it that much more better than someone else? How can you catch people off guard? Because that is how you guys are going to do good at these events. It's not just net decking. You guys got to figure out what works for you and figure out what tech cards can do well for you. Not no one else, but for you. Number 2, not asking for help. Now this is a big one because it goes back to the ego thing. Some people have egos are so fucking high, they're ashamed to ask for help. And I don't understand why. Help, no one makes it successful in this world without having some kind of help or using a team. So when it comes down to going to a big event, ask someone for help. Ask for one's opinion on your deck. Unless you just know the deck like the back of your fucking hand. But even then, still ask for help. Somebody might shoot you an idea that you're like, damn, I never thought about that. Or somebody might even tell you about a card that you didn't even know existed that can just take your skill level tenfold. YugiTube is great for getting help because a lot of us YugiTubers give free advice, which is awesome for you guys. We didn't have that back when I was growing up. And yeah, just ask for help, guys. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Asking help can just get you there. And last but not least, number 1 reason why people don't do great at events because they don't understand the reason why they lost. Now, this is a big one because every time I lose, I think about why did I lose, what misplays I made, and how can I not make that same mistake in the next duel. But I see a lot of people lose, they're like, fuck, I shouldn't have fucking lost, fuck that player, fuck this game, he sacked me. And it's like, dude, yeah, you probably got sacked, but you probably also misplayed earlier in the game. You probably could have won 2 turns ago. So understanding why you lost the duel can just take you that much farther in the game than you would if you just stopped bitching and complaining. So, with all that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this week's top 10. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you're a new viewer to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe for more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. I upload 3 times a week. On Mondays, do my general discussions. On Wednesdays, do my top 10s. And on Fridays, do my Explain series where I explain decks and archetypes in detail. As a lot of you guys already know, I have the GoFundMe set up for you guys to help support me for my YCS Minneapolis trip. We're almost at $100, so if you guys could help donate to support my trip, it'd be highly appreciated. Links to the donation page and my PayPal will be in the description below. Yeah, I just need a little help to help make my trip a lot easier for me. So as I always tell you guys, this is Chris from Team Innovation, and I am signing out. Peace, guys, and stay innovative. Deuces. Now, PK Fire and Burning Abyss is pretty much a special summon type deck that revolves around things like the Terror Top into Turek